The only person who can change your life is you. And the reality is that if you don't change the things that you do, then nothing is going to change about your life. If you don't change the direction that you are currently heading in, you're going to arrive at a destination that you don't like. This is something that I took a really long time to understand. You see, I used to have quite an entitled mindset that one day everything will just figure itself out. One day, when I finally decide to make change, I'll design the perfect life. Everything will fall into place. The mentality of a movie, per se. And when I started to grow up and develop a little bit more responsibility within my life, I realized very, very quickly how wrong I was. And how that if I wanted to change my life, I had to start then and there. You see, in life, habits grow stronger over time. This can be a really good thing. If you're employing really good habits on a daily basis over a long period of time, you're going to develop some solid trends and some solid consistency and hopefully consistent improvements. However, this can go the other way. If you are consistently engaging in bad habits or behaviors that do not serve you well in the long run for too long, you can establish a negative trend. It is the same thing with your thought process. This is why it's so important for you, when you establish that there are things that you want to change in your life, to not leave it for too long. To not try and convince yourself that, next year, in a couple years' time, that's when I'll do the thing. No, you should do the thing now. Because the longer you delay and the longer you lie to yourself and convince yourself that down the line things are going to change, the more this will prolong, the more this will go on. And you will start forming into this guy who just put things off and just pushes things down the line. He says, I'm not going to do it now, I'm going to do it when everything's perfect. I'm not going to transform my body this year, I'm going to do it next year because I'm going to have more time next year. And it's the year after that, and the year after that, and the year after that. And some people go a lifetime doing this. And I know this sounds maybe a little bit overly serious, but your life isn't a joke. You don't want to roll up being the guy who is 78 years old, on his deathbed, full of regrets, full of a long list of things that he never got done, things that he said he was going to get done, but just kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. If you want to change your life, the best time to start is today. No, scratch that. The best time to start was yesterday. But you do not have a time machine. You're going to have to settle for today. The longer you leave things, the longer you tell yourself that you'll do it later, the larger the probability is that you won't do it at all. Don't allow your brain to develop and build upon these negative belief systems, these excuses of pushing things off and pushing things off. There are going to be times in your life where you're not motivated to make change, but you should still do what you know needs to get done regardless of how you feel, because you are going to build discipline. Discipline is a muscle. Now, you cannot exercise discipline, and you can have very weak discipline muscles. And when it comes to doing difficult things and putting in a bit of effort and showing a bit of resilience, you're going to be the guy who just can't hack it and nobody calls upon for anything remotely difficult. But when you do exercise your discipline muscles, you build strength, you build mental toughness, you make yourself more reliable. People pick up the phone and they say, I want to call Alfie because I know that this is a job that he could do. I know he's a disciplined guy. I know he is a guy that can get through tough stuff. So there's so many benefits to doing the things that you need to get done regardless of how you feel, because down the line, if you start flexing those discipline muscles and working on making yourself more disciplined, it's going to enrich your life. You're going to be able to operate without motivation because you are a disciplined individual. You don't need to feel happy or 100% to perform. You can perform regardless of how you feel. And when you do feel motivated, wow, that is a scary, scary person to be competing against. I wouldn't want to compete against that guy. But all of this circles back to the fact that if you want to change, you have to start now. The longer you leave it, the more likely it is that you will never start. That's the reality. Not a lot of people say this stuff. Some people will say, you know, it's okay, take a bit of time. Take a bit of time and gradually start making those changes. I say otherwise. Of course, be balanced in whatever it is that you do. This is context dependent. I wouldn't say to somebody, yeah, you want to lose weight, let's lose 30 pounds in a week. No, let's be sensible. But let's not say, okay, in 6 weeks I'm going to start losing weight, because you said that last time. And the time before that, and the time before that, and you're still fat and in bad shape. So rather than putting things off and setting starting points for way down the line, when at that point your motivation might say otherwise, start today. Start making the change that you want to make in your life today. Start working towards your goals today. Start building your discipline muscles today. You will thank yourself for starting now later. You really will. And you know, guys, sometimes it is just about starting this trend. I had quite in some regards, lucky childhood. In some regards, I didn't. We'll go into that another time. But in some regards, I was pretty lucky. There wasn't really a lot that I had to do growing up as a child to exert discipline. And when I turned into an adult and got into the real world and had more responsibilities, I realized I was at a bit of a disadvantage, and I realized that it was make or break. If I don't start exerting discipline now and working hard and changing my life now, I'm going to turn into one of the losers that I don't respect. And I don't want that life for me. I see myself going further and doing more in life than being that type of guy. So I started working on the things I didn't like about myself. I'm not sat here from the perspective of somebody who is a perfect person. I'm absolutely not. There's so many things that I've got to improve in my life, but I have improved a hell of a lot of things. A hell of a lot of things in a short space of time, because I realized it was time to go. It was time to work. It was time to change. This is your calling. Right here, right now, not next week, not next month, not whenever you have the motivation. All of that is bullshit. The time to change your life is right now. The time to start is right now. So I say to you, start. When you click off this video, I dare you, start. Make the first steps to whatever it is that you want to change in your life. No more waiting, no more procrastinating, no more prolonging. No more watching videos for more motivation. Motivation will only get you so far. You must start flexing your discipline muscles if you want to change. And I guarantee you, if you start now and you remain consistent for 6 months, your life will look completely different to how it does today. Completely different, but you have to get there to realize that. So I dare you, start changing your life today. And I want you to come back to this video when you've started following this and integrating this into your life. And I want you to tell me about some of the changes that you have made. Look guys, I really hope that you took some value from this video today. If you did, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to my channel for much more from me, and comment your thoughts down below. If you are interested, I run a free men's Discord community. I'm going to leave the link down below in the description of this video. There's over 25 like-minded guys in there right now making great changes both personally and professionally. And look, if you want to hop on a one-to-one coaching call with me, the link's down below also. Click the link, book yourself a slot, and I will see you on the other side. As always, guys, thank you for your time and your attention, and I will see you in the next one.